Hey, man. Sorry.
Stick it out. Don't swallow the poison. Spit it out. Don't swallow your pride. Stick it out with us because we're going through every Rush song. And today we're talking about Stick It Out.
Every Rush song. I did take some notes on this. Basically, my notes are pretty much what Neil Peart had to say about this here song. He said it's just a play on words, really. Stick it out, meaning both a kind of arrogant display, stick it out, but also the endurance thing, like stick it out. If you have
stick it out.
If you have a different, or stick it out, if you're going to be more precise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you have a difficult thing to endure, stick it out, and you get to the end. It was a pun on both of those, really. So again, the duality in the song is a bit leaning to both ways. The sense of forbearance, of holding back, and also the idea of fortitude, stick it out, stick it out, survive. But that was more of a piece of fun. That song, I would say, both lyrically and musically, verges on parody. And that was one of, we just had fun with it. Lyrically, I certainly did. Stick it out and spit it out and all that, just a bit of wordplay. So basically he said, don't read into this, man.
Man, and I read so much into it. I have so many notes. What have I done? No, actually, I am pleased to hear that because I didn't get a lot from it. There's some cool lines, some cool turns of phrases.
Yeah. All that by design. All of that was by design. Trust in your instincts, and sir, your instincts did not lead you wrong in that particular aspect.
Thank goodness. So what are some of your favorite lines? I like the way he says, I have this thing with the D sound, and I'll always say medium. So I like how he says pendulum. I like the natural reflex pendulum.
Pendulum swing.
Yeah, I just like the way he says pendulum.
I do too. I love that. That's one that always sticks out for me. It sticks out.
Hey, you didn't even intend that pun, did you?
Oh, no. We're all good friends.
We're good friends.
I like this balance where I just kind of go with what I kind of have read, my background on literature or whatever. I like you going and getting what Neil said about it to kind of show that, nope, Shayne, you're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about.
Or, you know what you're talking about because there was nothing to read into it, and you figured that out by not having anything you read into.
Maybe.
Oh.
But I could have made up something. I could have come up with something, right? Because I don't get the part. Now I want to reread or something again to get the endurance part of it. And you know what? I'm going to keep trying because y'all may not know this, but you can do a lot in a lifetime if you don't burn out too fast.
That's what I've heard.
Okay, sorry. Yes, Jay, you had a...
Trust to your instincts. It's safely restrained. Oh, if it's safely restrained, lightning reactions must be carefully trained. Like, don't snap to judgment, I guess. Again, he's just putting a lot of words together to sound cool. And I'm with him on that.
It's a paradox too, right? Because it's a lightning reaction. It's like that. You can't control it. That's kind of what the gist is. You can't control it, but they must be carefully trained.
That reminds me, the last time I played poker, I won with a paradox. Hello? Hello?
Is the... Don't worry. We're
the thing on?
We're going to stick it out. Oh,
So,
and I just noticed Jay's name. Stick it out. Well done. Well played, Jay. Because I feel a little silly because I was hearing don't swallow the poison, don't swallow your pride. I was hearing like not necessarily an endurance thing, but more of a stick to your gun, stick to your beliefs type thing, and don't buy everything that you're told. Not everything that you're brought up to believe. Not everything that's shoved in your face by media or whoever.
Yeah.
So I don't, and it's just, so then to hear that he didn't mean anything like that, I feel so foolish.
He was just having fun.
Yeah, but I mean, don't swallow your tongue. Don't swallow the poison. Don't swallow your pride. Don't swallow your anger. Don't swallow the lies. It's just saying, hey, man, don't buy that shit.
And all plays on words, right? You know, so like buying the Kool-Aid.
Somewhere in there, like maybe going into the guitar solo, maybe that's what Getty should have sang.
Yeah. Well,
I think my favorite line, and it doesn't mean anything, I just like the way Getty sings it. It's the "You might get too dizzy."
See, that's where I kind of get. I thought I got the sort of stick to your beliefs thing too. Is like if you're too confused or you're tossed around or something, you're not really going to know what the right thing is, and you may not do it if you're confused. So stick it out. Stick to what you know. Stick to what you think, what you believe. Stick with your philosophy.
Well,
stick to your guns.
You know, the one thing I had no clue what the song was really talking about. It just sounded cool to me. But, and I looked this up yesterday and watched it, and I hadn't seen it in forever, was the video that they did for this song. And it's, except for the shots of the band, it's a man who has been tied to a chair, you know, just ropes, but this chair is sitting right on top of a pole, just a pole. So, you know, the pole is sort of moving back and forth in the chair, and he's trying to get out of the restraints that he's in, but at the same time having to be cautious of his movement so the pole doesn't fall down and, you know, and he dies. You know, or gets hurt really bad because he fell down. He's sitting in this chair, you know. And so it's that, you know, hey, you got to stick it out, man. Okay, yeah, you need to get out of the situation that you're in, but you got to be careful about how you're going to go do that, because if you make a wrong move, if you make a wrong judgment on how to get out, then you're going to fall. So stick it out, man. Get it, got it.
Stick it out.
Good. But keep it under the control. Otherwise, your chair's going to fall off the pole.
Right.
The proverbial pole.
Right.
Yes.
All right.
And I do believe it's water. At one point in the video, he does fall. And I think he is, you know, broken his restraints. He's no longer tied up, but he's in water now.
Well, that worked out for him.
Again, who knows?
I should watch more videos. I should watch more videos that y'all aren't in, shouldn't I? I only ever watch videos if you two are in them.
Oh my God. Wait a minute. Did you see that? Look, my space guitar turned into Alex guitar. Look at that.
Perfect. Wow.
Alex guitar.
Ooh. And
it almost
like it's lifting up his kilt.
Hold on. Let me fix it. Hold on.
Looks like it's
oh
boy.
There we go. Got it. Oh, it's a little off still. Hold on. Let me just hold it up here. Here we go. That's about it. All right. That's almost it.
Great.
Space guitar. I am easily distracted.
Okay. So y'all know who Rick Rubin is, right?
Do we know who Rick Rubin is?
Fabulous Rubin?
Only one of the greatest producers in the history of American mans.
All right, because I have a little confession here, and then it sort of ties to this song. So he has a new book out about creativity. And one of the things creativity. One of the things he talks about is when you're making something, whether it's a painting. For me, it's about a song. Whenever you're making something, it's like they would say on the ticket, let the game come to you. Don't try to direct it, because when you're trying to direct what this song is about or where it's going to end up, you might limit it, or it might not end up what it was meant to be. So he's saying, let it control you. Don't try to control it.
Sounds kind of like what Neil was doing there with the lyrics.
Yeah. So then I wonder, because we always talk about my song, The Ride. And when I first wrote it, I was just throwing out some words that I thought sounded cool together. But then when I look back on it, or when I looked back on it several years later, I could kind of see, oh, wow, I was kind of thinking this and this and this. And I don't know that I realized it at the time, but now looking back on it, I think this is what it meant. So I wonder if some years or sometime later, he looked back on this and said, I didn't realize it at the time, but I think it had this meaning. Because I really look at some of these things about, each time we bathe our reflections, our reactions in artificial light, each time we alter the focus to make the wrong moves seem right. To me, that's just screaming, each time we don't stick with what we believe in, we, swallow the poison a little bit or swallow our pride a little bit. Just wondering. I don't know. Nope. It's a song. That's what's good about songs, poetry, is you kind of get, there's probably something I have going on that leads me towards that.
He also says, don't swallow the truth.
He does say that.
So yeah. So don't swallow the lies, but at the same time, don't take the lies and ingest them. But when the truth needs to be spoken, don't swallow that either.
Now, was he a more objective person where he believed in certain inalienable truths, or was he more subjective where truth is going to be relevant to the person?
I
don't know.
That we all hold our own certain point of view.
Yeah. Yeah.
Certain point of view.
A certain point of view.
Shayne do. Depend on our certain point of view. Okay, Seth.
Certain point of view. My ass. Sorry.
Well, I'm glad to hear Neil say that, because I really didn't have much for it. I guess that was by his design. What y'all got? Y'all got anything else for Stick It Out? Stick it out.
Lyrically, no. I just find myself getting dizzy from, trying to do the right thing.
Oh, we know you do, Tim. We know you try. You try so hard.
To your point, Shayne, I love the natural reflex pendulum swing. I like that. I do that. I like that too.
To do the right thing. Da, da, da. Yeah, totally badass song.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is what we think, which, here or there, whatever. What's important is, what do you think about Stick It Out or anything else, or Tim's shirt? Let us know. Email us 2112 or Jay's shirt, the VGs, right? Foo Fighters.
The VGs, yes.
Yeah. That's a pretty cool thing. And then mine's Flying Saucer.
Hey,
are they national? Flying Saucer, is that a national chain or just around here?
I think it's just around it's just a local chain. I don't know. I'm going to look it up right now.
Who knows? You know what?
See?
If you had a Flying Saucer, tell them every Rush song sent you. Look us up on the
social. If you're on a Flying Saucer, play them some Rush.
Come play some Rush. Come pick me up. Take me with you.
Take me to 2112.
2112. Look us up on the social or on YouTube at Every Rush Song.
Every Rush Song.
Tim. Tell us how to get out of here, old man.
Thank you very kindly, Bedford Falls. Good night.
The old savings and loan son of a gun.
It's because he's old.